The plot is about Twilight, a talented wise agent with a talent for disguise. This time to be able to access the investigation of Donovan Desmond, the chairman of the United National Party, he needs to have a child and be admitted to the prestigious Eden Academy. He created a new identity for himself as Lloyd Forger, a psychiatrist, and went to an orphanage to adopt a child. Here, with her superpower to read people's minds, little Anya learns Twilight's true identity and is easily adopted by him. After he locked Anya at home, he went to his friend Frankie to get the exam answers as well as Anya's information. At the same time, because she was bored at home, Anya played with Lloyd's tools and accidentally let the enemy know. After returning home, he discovered that the girl had been kidnapped by them. With his disguise, he easily infiltrated the enemy lair to rescue Anya. Anya then takes the exam and gets into Eden, but the next round of interviews requires both parents, so Lloyd needs to find a wife. Briar is an ordinary employee of the town hall, but at night she becomes an assassin who works at the request of the employer. While taking Anya to the tailor and thinking about who would be suitable to play the role of his wife, Lloyd met Ya. After that, she actively invited him to pretend to be her boyfriend at a party organized by her office staff, to bypass her brother because she lied about having a boyfriend so that her brother wouldn't worry. On Saturday, the time of the party, Lloyd was caught up in an urgent task, so he could not arrive in time. Lonely and lost, she just sat there looking at everyone and thinking deeply. When she was about to get up to leave, Lloyd appeared with a bloodstain on his forehead, but soon he regained everyone's sympathy thanks to his eloquence and tactful manners. While bringing Ya back, both were caught up in the remnants of the smuggling gang. Right at this time, Ya suggested that both of them should get married because that way Anya could have both parents and Ya would be able to bypass her younger brother and continue her job as an assassin. The next morning, Ya immediately moved in with Ya and Anya. Then all three prepare questions for the upcoming interview. Helpless at the answer of his wife and children, Lloyd decided to take the whole family out to understand what an upper-class family is like. By the day of the interview, Lloyd had carefully prepared a plan to pass the initial assessment, such as getting new clothes or being elegant in any situation. Next in the interview round, although all three answered very well. But because of jealousy, Mr. Swan kept making it difficult for them, even rudely mentioning Anya's dead mother, making her cry. Lloyd was very angry and thought that this school was not worthy for his children to study, so he brought his wife and daughter back to the surprise of the judges. Until the day the results were announced, all three were shocked and they did not see Anya's identification number on the board. But Mr. Henderson appeared and said that Anya was the top candidate on the reserve list. If any successful student withdraws, Anya will officially be admitted. So 3 days later, Lloyd received a phone call saying Anya had passed. He organized a celebration party with the participation of Frankie. He goes to the secret base and is informed by Agent Handler about his next mission, which is that he needs to help Anya become an honor student, an Imperial Scholar. Because of the party that Desmond will appear at, only Imperial Scholars and parents could attend. To do so, Anya must receive 8 achievements called Stella, which are awarded based on outstanding scores and social contributions. The next day at the opening ceremony of Eden School, Lloyd easily arranged for Anya to be in the same class with Desmond's second son, Damien, because he had interfered with the list earlier. If the plan to become an honor student fails, then the plan will move to be friends with Damien to reach Desmond. But because the boy kept teasing Anya's background, the girl punched him and used the excuse that he stepped on Becky's foot. Touched by that action, the two also become close friends, but Anya is still punished and receives a tinnitus lightning. If you receive 8 tinnitus, you will be expelled from school, which worries Lloyd and tells Anya to apologize to Damien the next morning when she takes the bus to school. But Lloyd was still worried, so he secretly spied on her. Throughout the day, Anya tries to apologize to Damien, but Becky always stops her, so Lloyd has to use a way to take Becky away. Anya took the opportunity to apologize to Damien, but because she read the thoughts scolding her in the minds of other classmates, she burst into tears. That night, thinking that the plan to befriend failed, Lloyd forced Anya to study hard. But that inadvertently became pressure on Anya and made her hate studying more. Therefore, Ya sat down to talk and asked him to sympathize with Anya and that he should instruct her to prefer to study rather than force her to study. Yuri is a civil servant at the foreign ministry, but that's just his fake identity because he doesn't want to worry ya. He is an undercover cop and wants to visit ya to verify if Lloyd is worthy of his sister. But then, because he was drunk, Yuri challenged Lloyd to kiss ya. But when the two of them were about to do it, Yuri rushed to stop her and received a slap from his sister. In the end, their meeting ends well, although Yuri still doesn't trust Lloyd. The next morning, because Lloyd suspected that Yo was also an undercover cop like Yuri, he secretly hid a wiretap on her body and watched her all day. To be able to conclude, he asked his friend Frankie to come with him to disguise himself as an undercover cop to test her. But she was completely ignorant of codes, so she proved she was not an undercover cop. On the way home, Lloyd felt guilty for doubting her, so he took the initiative to invite her to buy a cake to celebrate their first wedding anniversary. There will be a dodgeball tournament coming up soon and there is a rumor that whoever gets an MVP will get a Stella star. So Anya asked Ye to specially train her. On the match day, Anya was placed in the same team with the second son Damien, and the heavyweight they faced was the son of Major Commander Bill Watkins. But when throwing the ball at her, thanks to her mind-reading ability, Anya dodged all the attacks. Then in a careless moment, Anya fell. Bill took the opportunity to throw the ball at her when Damien rushed to catch the ball and he was eliminated. This made her even more determined to win, but in the end, due to her bad throwing skills, Anya was still disqualified and lost. Since Anya had bad scores on her tests, Lloyd forced her to focus on her studies. In the end, Anya still disappointed him, so he decided to let the girl participate in social activities. But even then, due to her clumsy nature, she still caused a lot of trouble for everyone, and so both father and daughter were sent back. At this moment, a boy drowned in the swimming pool, and thanks to her mind-reading ability, Anya quickly ran over and jumped in to save him. But because she couldn't swim, she also sank. Fortunately, Lloyd arrived in time and saved them both. Thanks to her act of bravery, Anya received a Stella star. At lunchtime, thanks to Becky's sharing, Anya wanted to be rewarded with a dog by her parents so she could befriend Damien. Although he was very tired, he still had to show his neighbors that Forger was a truly happy family. But unfortunately, today he still has to complete a task. The location is right at the aquarium where they come to play. Anya, who is excited to watch the penguins, also shows Lloyd the penguin containing secret documents. Lloyd disguised as an employee and tried to get documents but was suddenly caught by the criminal. Because the penguin struggled, he let the criminal escape. Anya saw that and followed the criminal and did not let go and was caught by Ya. She angrily kicks him in the face to save Anya, and then Lloyd's mission is finally completed. He brought a stuffed penguin to Anya and looked at the happy faces of the mother and daughter. Finally, the Forger family also created an image of a happy family in the eyes of neighbors and outsiders.